Now, in case you hadn't heard, it's Black Friday today, where many shopping retailers offer reductions on their products in-store and online. It's a tradition that's been inherited from the US after Thanksgiving. Well, we can now speak to our business correspondent, Joe Lynham, who's at an Argos Warehouse in Burton-on-Trent. Joe.
Good afternoon, Rita, and welcome to a pretty busy distribution centre. It may be Black Friday, but behind me, it looks a little bit like Blue Friday. Hundreds of people are picking the products that millions of us have bought over the last few hours. Argos tell me that between midnight, when their Black Friday sale went live, and 1 a.m, they had 500,000 visitors. A lot of people stayed up to buy some products. Their busiest hour that we know of was between 9 and 10 a.m. That was 720,000 people going on the site looking for products. Interestingly, 80% were on handheld devices like tablets and mobile phones. So the vast majority of the sales are online. They're not in the stores, which was the original way things were done in the United States when Black Friday became popular. So let's talk to somebody who knows a fair bit about online sales. Andy Mulcahy from IMRG, you're the editor of this association for online retailers. It's a pretty big week for online retailers.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a defining one for the year, really. There's always been peaks in the run-up to Christmas. It used to be Cyber Monday, but what's happened now is we have this kind of fabricated day, if you like, where no one would be actually shopping on Friday the 25th of November in their droves if there wasn't some massive incentive to do so, and that is discounting.
If Black Friday is not a success for online retailers, that doesn't bode well for their future existence, though, does it?
Well, it doesn't, but it depends on the proposition. I mean, this time of year isn't actually the peak for every online retailer. So if you sell home and garden stuff, for example, your peak is most likely to be Easter. But for those who are dependent on this, yes, it has become a really big deal. The old adage was that if you had a bad Christmas, you kind of had a bad year as a retailer. Now it's more like if you have a bad Black Friday, you've had a bad year. So you've got to play it right, and it's a difficult thing to get right.
Now, is it the case that online retailers do their discounting on Black Friday, discounting that they may have done closer to Christmas Day and certainly will do from Boxing Day onwards? That, in other words, it's just moving the date on which they do the heavy discounting to attract consumers.
Yeah, I mean, that's the pressure they're under. So Black Friday doesn't just happen on Black Friday, it actually happens over a week or 2 weeks before that, because they're trying to secure that spend. So what's happened to Christmas shopping is it's become pulled forward quite an awful lot. The thing with discounting is obviously they don't really want to be discounting in the run-up to Christmas, because you want to be selling things at full price. So we're in this situation. Black Friday's happened. It's certainly not going anywhere. So you have to play the game somehow. But if you can associate products that maybe they're buying full price, so you just do a little bit of discounting on a certain range or a certain number of products, hopefully while they're there they might buy stuff that's a less discounted range or that's full price indeed. So you're averaging out the margin, if you like.
We haven't heard of any major technical difficulties, Andy, from your members. We had issues in the previous years whereby they simply weren't able to cope with the demand, the sudden surge in orders. So the technology side of it seems to be holding up.
Yeah, in 2014 it was absolutely unprecedented to have that level of people visiting the site at the same time. And if you remember, there are lots of websites that fell over. Since then, they've done a lot of work on the infrastructure side to make sure that they can actually cope with that level of people coming to you. And in on the delivery side, they're getting the forecasting now that they know that they're going to get this huge surge of orders. They didn't know that in 2014, so the delivery side had to cope with a load of orders that it wasn't really expecting to fulfil, and hence you had the problems.
Thank you very much. That is Andy Mulcahy there from IMRG, which looks after online retailers. One other retailer, which is Bricks and Clicks, John Lewis, they say that they're selling 4 or 5 items every second in the course of Black Friday. So that's one retailer. I'm sure there's a lot more stories you'll be hearing in the course of the next few hours. Back to you guys, Rita and Ben.
Joe, Bricks and Clicks, eh?
Very good.
Very good.
All right, let's see what the weather prospects.